Hello, George Nenni here from Generations Digital. Welcome back to our Google Analytics 4 training series designed specifically for car dealers. If you enjoy receiving this type of content, be sure to subscribe to our channel so you'll be the first to know when I publish new videos. You can click the bell on our channel and it will make sure you're subscribed. Today's lesson is involving explorations. Explorations are the report writers within Google Analytics. And today we're going to show you how to do a path exploration. The path exploration is incredibly valuable. It will show you the path that shoppers on your website took in their online journeys. And what will be most important for us is to be able to segment that traffic. So we want to be able to look at traffic, from organic search, for instance, and sort of benchmark, that's our best traffic, benchmark that traffic and say, here's what shoppers did when they landed on various pages, and here's where they clicked afterwards and so on. But we also want to look at our paid campaigns. So if we're doing paid Facebook or paid search campaigns or even VLA campaigns, we want to make sure that we know exactly where that traffic lands, and we want to know what that click did after it landed. This can be a very valuable tool for being able to spot bot traffic and compare that to human traffic. Often bots will land on a various page and then they'll just drop down to the footer and they'll try to look for privacy pages or staff pages or goofy pages that normally shoppers wouldn't. Bots will sometimes hit those, so the path exploration can help you measure that. For our example today, I want to look at VLAs, which are part of Performance Max, the PMax ads. The VLAs, vehicle listing ads, are one of the biggest opportunities for car dealers today, and we want to make sure that that traffic is hopefully landing on VDPs, vehicle detail pages primarily. Since on a vehicle listing ad, you would click on a car and you would land on that car on the dealer website. And then we want to see what those shoppers did afterwards. So that's going to be today's exercise. Let's start off by going into the explorations menu. Here we are at the home page of Google Analytics, and we're going to go into explorations here. If I click on explore, that menu, it's currently the only choice. So it's very easy to get to. All right, let's talk about this screen here. We've got a number of different templates that we could explore. You can go into the template gallery and see more of those. There's lots of different templates that you can use. Today's is going to be the path exploration. We don't see any explorations currently, right? There's none to show. So for this user, for this dealership, there's never been an exploration that's been saved. And so if there were some explorations that would have been saved, they'd be displayed here. It's really easy to save an exploration. In fact, it does it automatically. You don't even really have to save. All your work is automatically saved. If you want to share those explorations across other users, so if you want other people to be able to see your reports, you can share that across other users. But even more helpful, you can now share explorations across other properties. So if you have 5 dealerships in your group and you create a really great report in explorations, you can now, with just a few clicks, share that with your other stores. Okay, so let's go ahead and choose path exploration. And again, once we choose this, it's automatically going to save it for us because it thinks we're doing some custom work. And here's our path exploration. So don't let this screen be daunting. I often tell people when I first used explorations, I looked at these screens and thought, I'm never, ever going to be able to understand that. Please don't be like me. It's easy if you segment this into pieces. So first of all, on the left, this column here is the parking lot. These are all the variables that you can bring in that you can potentially use for a report. They're not active until you drag them over into this middle column, into the settings column. Right now, they're just sitting there ready. So if we wanted to bring paid traffic over as a segment, we could drag it in here and it would just go right into place. And once you make changes in this column here, then it automatically paints this canvas for you. And you're going to see how that works. It's really efficient and great to use when you're trying to answer specific questions. So for today's path exploration report, we really just have to make one quick change. We're going to choose this event name in step 1, and we're going to change this to page path and screen class, which will really just show us the URLs that our users went through and visited. And this report here moves left to right. So as we click on things, the path follows this arrow here. So they land on our home page. That's what the slash means. And then from there, we can click here and say, where'd they go after the home page? Well, they went to new vehicle SRP pages. They went to used vehicle search results pages. That's what SRP stands for, search results pages, and then specific, vehicles, service pages, and so on. Some of the traffic lands on new vehicle pages, and then we could click on that, and we could collapse this if we wanted, and then we could click here and say, when they land on new SRPs, what do they do? And so there's some individual pages to look at. This report is only somewhat useful if you're just looking at all of your traffic, but really the strength of this report comes in these segments right here. And so we have some segments that are already built for us. We're gonna build a specific segment to look at our PMAX campaigns. So let's click here, and we're gonna say add a segment. And I don't see the PMAX campaign in this segment, so we'll go here and say create a new segment. We have a choice here of user, session, event. We're going to choose session segment. We want to see all sessions, all traffic that came in from PMAX. So we'll say PMAX traffic. We don't need a description. We know what that means. And we're going to say here campaign. So we'll go say session campaign. Remember from my other videos, you don't use these first user campaigns. You have to use session dimensions here. So all the dimensions have to start with the prefix session if you're running a session report. If that's new to you, go visit some of my other videos in the session. Or on my channel, and it will clear that up for you. So session segments, and we're going to say contains, and then we're just going to say PMAX. It's going to suggest a couple PMAX campaigns that are already in there. That's great. We'll just say anything that contains PMAX. That's going to get our new and our used PMAX in here, and then we'll say apply. And it automatically took this segment and put it in there because it knows I want to use it. And now we're getting ready to have a super powerful report. This will show us all of our PMAX traffic and where it lands. And if you were one of our customers, I would tell you that we expect all the Performance Max vehicle listing ad traffic, the VLA ads, to land on VDPs. And right off the bat, I'm concerned for this dealership because half of all the 1,075 PMAX clicks landed on the new SRP page. We don't want that. We want them to land on VDPs, and then we've got a lot that are landing on used SRPs. So we would go to this agency and say, hey, what's going on here? We need to tune these PMAX campaigns to make sure that they're landing more efficiently and consistently on VDPs. You can do the same thing with email campaigns. You can do the same thing with paid search or really any incoming traffic source, being able to click on the path and see, where did they land, and then where did they go after this. So, of these 539 that landed on the new SRPs, 42 went back to the home page. Let's click here and see what those folks did. So of the 42 that landed on the home page, again, it all moves left to right. It's going to show me what those 42 people did. Sorry, this is taking just a minute. I must have asked it a pretty tough question. I can collapse these while we wait. By the way, these are just, if you collapse these columns, they're easy just to pop back up on the bottom. I thought maybe that would be a good stall tactic, get this report firing. But when it paints again, you can keep clicking that. Here we can see it starting to paint. Looks like of those 42 people, 18 went back to the new SRP, 5 went to the used SRP. So that looks a little suspect. Like when I see traffic bouncing around pages without getting on vehicle detail pages, I get a little bit nervous that maybe I'm attracting bot traffic. And Performance Max definitely has that reputation in terms of having a lot of bot traffic in it. Not going to paint for me. I'm going to go ahead and just retry this report and see if it loads for me. There it is. So there you go. Of the 42 people that landed on the home page, 18 went back to the new SRP, 5 went to used SRPs, and 2 went to contact forms. Again, you should use this for overall trends to make sure that your traffic is landing in the proper pages. So I hope you've enjoyed this lesson. Again, if you want to be notified of new GA4 lessons, please subscribe to our channel by clicking the bell in YouTube. You can also learn more about our company at generationsdigital.com. If you go to Amazon and search for my name, George Nenni, you'll see a number of different digital marketing books that I have published. One's on Google Analytics 4. It's called A Car Dealer's Guide to Google Analytics. And it will also help you in your journey to become a master. But thank you for watching and good luck.